Sriperumbudur, about 25 kilometers from the metropolis of Chennai, is often called the Detroit of South India. It is of course the main manufacturing hub of Hyundai and Ford and BMW. It is also home to the MMRT, one of India's premier racetracks. But for one weekend in July, Sriperumbudur played host to some of India's fastest rally cars. Welcome to the AVT Premium South India Rally. I'm Joel Pereira and we start this show in the pit lane of the MMRT circuit in Chennai, the start line of the AVT South India Rally. We've got 29 cars lined up to hit the special stages in what promises to be an exciting weekend of motorsport. South India Rally is the third leg of the 2014 season of the IRC, but it's also one of India's oldest motorsports events. This is its 39th year running.
In those days, when I did my first rally was 1972, which was incidentally the South India Rally, which was run over 3,800 kilometers, 2 nights away. We used to go to Kerala, we used to go to Karnataka, Andhra and Tamil Nadu. But it was more like TST format. It was in fact essentially a TST format rally. We used to have a 4-man team, 2 navigators, 2 drivers, so that we would take turns and things like that. Now it's become a proper stage rallying. I mean, it's changed in concept.
I think professionalism has increased substantially. There are people who are a lot more committed. It's no longer just a weekend effort. The format of the event has changed. Rallies in the old days were on open roads and substantially longer. I remember helping service teams which ran over 3 and 4 days. But now it's a much more compact on closed roads.
Essentially circuit track spread over Sriperumbudur with 3 special stages: the MMRT, which runs around the tarmac at the Madras Motorsport Racetrack, Avisa inside the under construction Avisa Golf Course, and IVRCL. It's a total loop of 292.47 kilometers with 181.84 kilometers of liaison and 110.65 kilometers of super stages. Each stage has to be run 3 times with 2 loops on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. The name of the game here is to complete the stage as quickly as possible, and timing differences between drivers go down to fractions of seconds. The AVT South India Rally is all down and dirty speed.
They seem to be reasonably quicker than last year. What's happening is the surface. There's nothing you can do about it. The surface is quite loose at a lot of places, so tendency to get bogged down is quite high. But apart from that, the stages are wide. So what happens, basically it's reasonably safe, very safe to really drive hard.
Very, very fast stages. Very nice to drive, and I think the track's also not been that rough.
Lots of tight corners, so quite physical.
The stages compared to last year were fantastic. Last year the same stages were very, very bad than this, but to this year, very, very nice.
It doesn't matter, rally drivers are far more versatile than any other drivers around on the planet. So because we guys end up driving, for example, it's just started to pour and we'll still be going flat out, and whether it's snow, rain, forest or tarmac roads, for us it's everything same, and we need to just focus and be flat out all the time.
We caught up with Vikram Devadasan and Srikanth from Team Yokohama for a ride along during the recce of all the stages.
Small bump, minus, lose, 10 left, 10 right. The objective is to, so that when the notes are called out to you, you get a mental image, a mental picture of what's coming up in the next few seconds. So that enables you. So what happens is your pace notes describe the curve, and if there are any other, features along with the terrain. So, things like bumps, jumps, crests, etc. are described. So even if you have a turn over a crest, what happens is, your notes tell you that it's a 10 left, which is more or less a 90 degree left over a crest. So even though you can't see, you go through.
There's also the super special stage, and it's all controlled from the MMRT's high-tech control center.
Installed 18 cameras around the track, and so we could go live on 2 stages. The dirt stage, which was about 9.7 kilometers long, and the super special stage, which was about 3.08 kilometers in length. So we gave them live coverage of these 2 stages, which has never happened in Indian rally.
The rally promised to be fast, technical and highly demanding, with drivers trying to prevent their worst nightmare, getting a DNF on your timesheet. In Indian rallying, passion is everything for the participants of the IRC, and nothing is more heartbreaking than a driver who, try as he might, can't get the car to continue. The Indian Rally Championship this year stands divided into 4 categories. For the rookies, there's the FMSCI 1600cc Cup, then the IRC 1600cc category, similar powered but with drivers with more experience, the 2000cc category, and lastly, there's the overall category, which is where the big boys compete. The ceremonial start of the AVT South India Rally took place at the Express Avenue Mall in the heart of Chennai. And present to flag off the drivers was former tennis champ and local hero Vijay Amritraj.
I wish each and every one of you a wonderful weekend of this rally. I hope that you will enjoy it as much as you will compete.
Fanfare complete, the cars headed to Parc Fermé for the first competitive start the following morning. Here's a full list of all crews competing. Reigning APRC champion Gaurav Gill was in the picture of supreme confidence as he always was, and that's because after his recce, the realization set in that the Evos are going to have an advantage.
I mean, we knew that this rally is not going to be easy or a walk in the park for us because the route is very, very open and very fast. And of course, Sammy's Evo and Abhilash's Evo 6, they're obviously the fastest cars and the obvious choice for this kind of or any rally.
So here's what the cars at the AVT South India Rally will be driving on. Gravel. We're right in the middle of the second stage of the rally, and this is pretty representative of what the cars are going to be facing. Now, we spoke to some of the drivers yesterday after the recce, and they were pleased with the conditions because what you have here is smooth, wide flowing tracks, hard for packed gravel. Perfect for high speeds. Since the distances at the IRC are relatively short, there really isn't any warm-up period for the car or driver. You hit the ground running and you stay that way till the end of the race. Hitting the ground running is always a great plan, and once you put your helmet on and set your pace notes in order, it comes down to man, machine and clock. But then sometimes it's difficult to stick with that plan, as everything on the track conspires to stop you dead in your tracks. And that's exactly what happened to Mahindra Adventure's Kadur and Srinivas Murthy, set aside by a mechanical failure in the very first stage.
First stage one is very wide and visible to this thing, all the scratches, 300 meters, 500 meters, car will be very fast, and also in corners will slide, this is seen in this stage one. Stage 2 is a little bit technically tough compared to the stage 1. It's a little bit gravel and mixed terrain. Also, it's not like the tricky one. And the stage 3, again once again comes with very tight corners and sharp rights and hairpin curves. These are totally 3 different stages.
Things didn't go to plan for the team of Dean Mascarenas, with Shanmunga as a co-driver and Duva Chandrasekhar and Rupesh BC either, as both cars crashed out during the first loop. Gaurav Gill's pre-race analysis was prophetic, as Samir Thapar in the Evo 10 kept the fastest times, with Gaurav Gill close on his tail and Abhilash in the second Evo putting the pressure. Chasing them down was Arjun Rao and Vikram Devadasan in the polos.
We're trying to hold Abhilash back as much as we can, so we're trying to push as hard as we can every stage. We've been able to do that so far, so it's been a good day. We're quite, I wouldn't say very comfortable, but we're still in the lead. We need to do the same thing again tomorrow for the next loop and put Abhilash, make him stay where he is and hold on to our second position.
We started out quite on a strong note, but second stage we had a little engine trouble, and after that I had no power at all, so we were just pushing as much as we could to come home to service. We've lost quite a few seconds, but we'll hopefully go out and make it up now in the next loop.
We are running third overall, but second stage we had rear damper issues, and the third stage we lost 30 seconds because we had a flat 4 kilometers in the stage. So we are okay, but the second loop we'll try to make it up.
At the end of Loop 1, the cars head to service for a quick fix as the drivers too take a short break. We're going to take one too, but before we go, here's a look at the leaderboard. Coming up after the break, Loops 2 and 3 and the big winners of the day come right back. After the first service, the second loop of the AVT South India Rally was underway, and normally this is where we start seeing a degradation of tracks. Drivers at the South India Rally though didn't have those problems. There were a few places, especially at hard corners, where the track did get bogged down with fine sand, but by and large, the surface held. In the second loop, the cars took the stages a little more carefully, with Samir Thapar still on top of the leaderboard, with Gaurav Gill in the XUV 500, Abhilash in the second Evo and Arjun Rao in the Polo R2 a whisker behind. Arjun Rao and Vikram Devadasan in their smaller Polos were both nipping at the heels of the larger, more powerful XUV 500s and Mitsubishi Evos, and both were driving flat out. Rahul Kantaraj of Team Yokohama was leading the 2000cc category, with Prithvi Dominic and Sumit Panjabi close behind, while in the IRC 1600 category it was becoming a four-way knife fight between Vikram Devadasan, Arjun Rao, Phalguna Urs and Sirish Chandran. Perhaps the biggest shocker was the crash out of last year's INRC champs, the team of AMITRAJIT Ghosh and Ashwin Naik, who flipped the car twice in SS5, ending their Rally of Chennai, and perhaps more tragically, their championship run. We spoke with Ashwin off camera, and it's the first time he's been out of the race for the championship since 2004.
We went off the road when hit a bank way off the road. It wasn't on the road, and when it was on two-wheel drive and the car lifted on two wheels, you know, once this heavier car comes up and you have only one wheel with power touching the ground, you can't get it back. And he had a full roll and he got back on all four tires back. But we couldn't continue because we had no power after that, and even the car was bent out of shape, so we couldn't continue. As far as the championship is concerned, obviously 2 DNS out of 3 is not looking good anymore. I don't think we can fight for the championship anymore this year, but yeah, we'll try to get some good finishes in the next 3 rounds.
The normally podium-dwelling Slideways team was also having a bad run, with BYRAM, GODREJ and Somaya AG pulling out in SS6 due to engine failure. Rishikesh Thakur Sen and Ninad Mirajgaonkar and team principal Rohan Pawar and Arjun Pawar pulling out with mechanical issues.
We made a bit of time on the first stage on Arjun. I made a mistake on the second stage, dropped 12 seconds to him. And then had a very good third stage, pulled back about 10 seconds. So coming into the Triple S, we were about under half a second apart. He was in the lead.
Came to service, some problem was there with suspension. They sorted out the suspension problem. Then we started pushing him from first stage. Then I came, almost I gained 2 minutes. Now I'm in second.
The last run of the first day was the super special stage, which took place in a reverse loop at the fabled MMRT. The rally cars, even fitted with slick track tyres, looked ill at ease with their gravel setup, but the Triple S counted for points. The super special stage began with the first few cars blazing through the 3.08 kilometer course, and then suddenly panic as the heavens opened and it rained. For a competition where timings are down to seconds, sudden rain is catastrophic as it throws all tyre calculations out the window, and that's exactly what happened to Arjun Rao, driving over a soaking track on dry weather slicks.
Unfortunate, just when I started, it started pouring very, very heavily, so I could barely see 10-20 meters ahead, and but it was really unfortunate because it was just a very, a very big downpour. So maybe my car and the car behind me had this problem. So it was very difficult to drive on the track with the slicks, almost slick tires and completely wet track. So I lost a lot of time, and now I lost the lead. I think we are behind by 6-7 seconds.
But what is one driver's loss is another's gain, and Vikram Devadasan was the one who gained the most, racing to the top of the leaderboard, ending the day with a 6-second lead over Arjun.
Coming into the Triple S, we were about under half a second apart. He was in the lead. Luckily for me, I've taken the lead on the Triple S, so I think I'm leading the class.
It's day 3 of the AVT South India Rally, and there's plenty of racing action planned. We've got one loop of all 3 circuits, plus a super special stage down at the Chennai racetrack. Today is the day this rally is going to be decided, and the drivers look all set. The third and final leg of the AVT South India Rally was to run only a single loop of all stages, a combined competitive distance not really enough to seriously try to affect the leaderboard by timings alone. But this was rallying, and anything could happen. Samir Thapar and Gurinder Mann held the lead throughout the day and were the first to exit the stages, with Gaurav, Gill and Musa Sharif holding on behind them. ABHILASH PG and Kumar Ramaswamy in the Evo 6 held on in third, and behind them, still trying to make up time, was ARJUN RAO's 1600cc Polo. The IRC 1600cc category was where the bulk of the action was, with the gap between the winner and second place a scant 1.08 seconds. The third place Vikram Devadasan coming in just 22 seconds behind.
We were trailing by 6 seconds starting leg 2 today. Somehow we made up, very good stage times compared to yesterday. The track was pretty much the same. It hadn't become very rough, so we decided to push much harder than what we drove yesterday, and fortunately we did, got some good stage times. But I think Phalguna, who was behind me by 7 seconds, drove really well, and at the end of the day I won the rally by 2 seconds. So I think overall very satisfactory win.
Always very close. First loop it was 10 seconds. After the first loop we were 5 cars within 10 seconds. Second loop again 13 seconds. Third loop today it was VD, I think tire he had some issues. A little slower, but me and Arjun are fighting very close. On the tripless, I didn't think I would make 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds, but it was close. Finally, it was just 1.8 seconds. It happens.
Running 4th in class till end of yesterday, and then this morning we were 3rd. So our strategy pretty much was to just maintain the pace and just go to the finish of the event and save the podium.
But when the dust settled, it was revealed that a third of the cars did not finish, with more casualties on the second day. Kadur in from Mahindra Adventure did take a start on day 2 but crashed out again in SS9. Slideways driver Rohan Pawar too took a restart on day 2 but had mechanical failures in SS8 and DNF'd. Perhaps the most tragic of all who didn't finish was the rookie team of Harshita Gowda and Rajshekar Gowda, whose car broke down close to the end of SS10. So close, yet so far. With the race officials hard at work compiling timings, it was time for prizes right on the track of the MMRT. First up was the FMSCI 1600 Cup with Adith KC and Harish KN taking first place, followed by Aeman Khadri and Sagar M in second, and the team of Bopaya KM and Konganda Karumbaya in third place.
Today we were in second when we started the day, and it was going to be a tough fight. Raghu was ahead about a minute, and we thought we will settle for second. Unfortunately, he had a problem which promoted us to the first place. So we did not have to go faster, we did not have to go flat out, but the cars prepared so well. We tried to slow down, but yet we were faster in all the 3 stages.
In the IRC 1600 category, Arjun Rao clawed his way back to the top to take first, with FALGUNA URS and Anoop Kumar less than 2 seconds behind them in second, and Vikram Devadasan and Srikanth Gowda 22 seconds behind in third.
I just decided that give my level best and drive to the best of my abilities. The car was also not to its mark, I should say. So I had to push really hard to get a good stage time. So that's what we didn't bother about the time, whether we're going to gain those 6 seconds or lose further. But we just gave our heart out and drove, and at the end of the day, the results came.
The IRC 2000 category saw Rahul Kantaraj and Vivek Bhatt from Team Yokohama take the #1 position, with Pritni Dominic and Ravindra MS in second, and Sumit Panjabi and Venu Ramesh Kumar in third.
Good weekend, good rally, and it started well, it ended well. We lead the championship by 39 points now, and we are in a good mid-season break right now.
But the big winner of the day, the overall winner and the top spot on the podium, was the veteran team of Samir Thapar and Gurinder Mann, winning their first rally since a K1000 victory back in 1997. The victory was perhaps even sweeter for Samir, considering he pushed perennial winner and APRC champion Gaurav Gill and Musa Sharif into second place. Coming in third was another comeback victory for ABHILASH PG and Kumar Ramaswamy, another team we haven't seen in a while.
I believe we could win, and as long as the car was set up right, and this time the car was set up right, and we had the right tyre selection, we had the right setup, so we won most of the stages. One stage we were split times with Gaurav, but otherwise we won all stages.
The IRC calendar takes a long break till the round of Kolkata in October. We'll be there to bring you all the action.